Hi all, Hal here with more Space Engineers, and we have been doing a little bit of work off camera. Oh, okay, we've been doing a lot of work off camera. So we've made some decisions on some of the ideas that we were talking about with the build. So let me get everything caught up here. We'll walk you through what the thought process is, what things we have done, how we've done them. And yeah, so I think that's a good place to get started. So let's go. All right. So, happy Monday, everybody. For those who are celebrating the Christmas holiday, Merry Christmas. Well, Christmas Eve, I should say. Happy holidays to everybody else, and if you're not celebrating anything, well, just happy Monday. Right. So, let me show you what we've got going on. So if you remember last time, we were working on the this aft portion of the build. So we decided we were probably going to stick with this sort of swept wing shape, which then has a wraparound that goes back, and you go into your main thrusters. You have your thrusters here. So some of the things that we've done, as you can see, there are a lot more blocks and blocks being welded up. But one of the things that we did is when we were looking at it, we noticed that there was this negative space here. So we went ahead, because we needed to figure out where we were going to do thrusters. If you remember, I said I was looking at doing them over in these little wing sections, and it was just, I couldn't figure out how I wanted to do them. Well, it worked out that where the midsection, the original power and engineering section, met up with what's becoming the habitation section, there was some negative space in here. So I threw some thrusters in, and they actually fit. So I was like, nice. Didn't even have to re-engineer that at all. Now, coming back to talking about the playing with the lines, what we're kind of thinking at this point, and I don't know if I have enough plates on me to do this. There you go. That way you can see what we're thinking about here, which means I may need to change some of this out. I'm not sure yet. I mean, I could even take this one additional step out. Yeah, I might do that actually. I kind of like that line there, though. But you sometimes have to do what you got to do to make the lines come together. So we'll keep that in mind. It's definitely an option. What I'm thinking about, so for those who may not be on the same page here, is removing the half blocks that are here currently, placing this block here. I'll show you what that'll look like. So if we place the two-part ramp there, if you notice, that matches up to here, and what we would do here is take these out and replace them with normal blocks. So that'll make this one block wider, which I may actually do because I kind of like the banding that that's giving it. That might work better than I thought. See, I was kind of hesitant to do that because I wasn't sure how it was going to work. But I'm kind of liking the way that corner's coming together, actually. Yeah, I actually like the way that worked out. Okay. See, that's why you should never be afraid to experiment, because you never know what you're going to come up with. All right. So we end up with a winglet, I guess you could call it, or a what would be I don't know, what would you call that? Because it's not actually a wing, because it's not a lift structure. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, so let's talk about what we've got going on in here. Let's drop down here for a second. So we did put a bulb in, and this is a temporary bulb. He's not going to stay. We will have a bulb in here, and I'm thinking it may go like right here. when it's done. Mainly because of the fact that I want to have the ability for the ship to be able to repair. But because of where this one is located, it's kind of in the way. And I don't want it like right here, you know, because you come into the stairs, you don't want to look right into that thing. It's like, what is that? That may be some kind of radiation emitter. You're going to walk in, you get a face full of radiation? Of course not. Alright, so what I'm thinking is that for the permanent location, we'll take Bob from where he is. And we'll mount him back here, because what we're going to do is we're going to have a drop down block here, which will be another conveyor. Yes, a conveyor connector, and we're going to run piping back this way to go into these conveyor junctions here, and I'll show you what those are feeding in a second. But this is going to be our engineering, and I think medical area. This is basically, we're going to put a med bay in. If we put Bob there, I could put a med bay here, turn it sideways, and that would just be a no, we'll have it come out with piping and down. I wonder. Hold on a second here. Let's take a look. If we take... Let's get rid of you. And we're going to do the same on the other side. That will actually work really well, I think. And if we want a second medical, we could put a second medical in here. Oh yeah, I think that's going to work really, really well. And then Bob's in the middle. Yes. Okay, I think that'll work. So basically what we're talking about here is putting a med system in, or a med bay. Helps if I hit the right button. Okay, so let's drop those out for right now. So yeah, this is basically what we're talking about having here. Because there is a connector on the top of these. So what I'm thinking is we do something like that. Let's grab our conveyor block. Like so. And then we just do that. Ow. Well, it's a good thing that the accident happened in the med bay, right? So, yeah. And then I don't know if I'm going to partition this off or not. Probably not. I'll probably leave this open. And then you have your stairs that come up. You'll be able to see what's going on over here if you need to do any repairs, balancing your fuel, whatever. So you have it on both sides. Now you'll notice that we do have a little bit of a thing up here. And that is going to be the beginning of the actual residential area. This is going to be the kitchen slash mess room, mess hall, whatever you want to call it. So you'll be able to, you'll come up here, you'll have a place to sit down, relax, you know, get something to eat, whatever. You come back here, and there will be two compartments. This is going to be, you know, crew compartment 1 and crew compartment 2. Now, because of the fact that this is a fairly small, well, the ship is rather giant, but the amount of functionality on board is rather limited. You're basically going to have a pilot and maybe, you know, I don't know, how many would we want? So if we were to maximize everything, you'd have two operators, you'd have a pilot and an operator for each one of those turrets, and in the case that they separate it from the ship. Because we're going to have two of those, so that's a crew capacity of 4, plus the pilot of this ship. We're up to 5. So if we plan for 6 people, so if we plan for 6 people, that would be, because that's one of the air vent conveyors. Put bunks here. Well, I guess I could. Oh no, because I would end up losing this space if I did that. So if we went... Take those out. Take that out. Alright, and then here's what I'm thinking. We do that. And that'll give us space for 8 people if we do the bunk beds. Right, so let's go ahead and move you out. And we're going to grab this one because it allows us to do bunk beds. Right. Okay, so you would be a bunk bed. You'd be a bunk bed. Oh no, we went to top accessible. Crap. Alright. Let's try that again, shall we? Alright. Oh, right. Okay, so if we do that, do I want to have them head to feet? Yeah, we'll do head to feet. Alright, and we're going to make this that way. Alright, so top bunk invert it. So you're gonna go there, you're gonna go there. And
energy critical.
You go there and you go there. Okay. So what that does is that gives us enough room for a crew of 8, which is more than this thing will ever actually potentially need, but you know, you never know if you're going to have human cargo coming in, and no, I don't mean in that way. Before it goes any further, in case you have passengers of some kind. And then this is set up to be an observation area, so you'll be able to look out into the engineering section. So if there's things going on out here, you'll be able to hang out and relax up here while you watch people, you know, other people working. So alright. Oh, let's see here. Okay, so that gets us most of this done. So one of the things I've been trying to figure out is if I want to go with the square, with the actual cubes here, or if I want to go with the ramps. So the ramps give us a little bit more space to work with. Actually, you know what? If we do the ramps, what we'll be able to do is, if we do ramps, we can go like that. And then we just basically come up with those. So the ramp would end up with something like this. And I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to put windows on this edge or not. Because I'm thinking I'm not, actually. I'm thinking we're going to leave windows just here. Because it's a work ship. It's not really meant to be overly comfortable. But there is something to be said about having, you know, a little bit of an area where you can look out into space. Because this is going to be you're only going to be able to see into this area. You're not going to be able to see outside the ship. This area, however, we may set it up to be able to look outside. All right. And then for you, we are going... You will be interior. So if we go Like that. Like that. And you're going to be... Grab those. I want to make sure we're not actually about to kill ourselves. Okay. Because you'll loop up. Like so. Alright, and then you will be here. And then we can just do that to close that portion off. And then we'll be able to rinse and repeat that on the other side as well. Alright. And then this ends up with the ability to look out into space if we do this. Alright, so let us... We're going to put that there. That there. And that's in case we... Because what we're going to do is we're going to have a wall here. Let's grab our regular blocks. Right?
No energy.
Ah, of course. I ran out of energy just as I need it. Alright, let's get back in here for a second. Can we get to any of the ice? Oh, yeah. Really? We can't get to any ice? Come on, there's got to be some ice. Oh, it's because we're on the wrong ship. I forgot we're connected to that one. Okay. See, all of the connections, you lose track of them after a while. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to drop you here. We're going to drop you here. Alright, so we're going to go over here to the processed goods storage. We're going to go ahead and drop all of this off for a second. We want to grab 200 of those, grab 100 of those. Actually, let's grab 500 of those. And 100 of those, just in case we decide to do some windows. Alright. Okay, so that gets us most of this in. I do have some concerns with this window arrangement here because the 2x1 ramps don't tend to be airtight on the side. You basically need to transition them into one of the full blocks or the more than 3/4 blocks. So that would be this one, the inverted corner, or half block, or the light, or the regular armor block. Oops, sorry. Because what it'll do normally is it'll continue to pass atmosphere down the side. And I'm wondering if we use that, will that count towards what we need to do in order to close this in? I hope so. We'll find out. Now there are scripts. There are scripts and mods that will allow you to be able to see the airtightness of a room. So you walk in, when you put it under, when you have an atmosphere available, it will basically say, hey, you've got a leak over here. So if you're ever looking for it, if I remember it, I'll put it down, and I'll put the link to that mod and script down in the description. If I don't remember it, somebody poke me in the comments so that I will get on that and get that in there for you, because I know I've had a couple of people asking about it, and they were, you know, wanting to know how to use that type of thing. And so anyway, we're gonna jump back here for a second, because what I'm thinking here is we go like so. There you go. Now, part of this, or part of the idea of doing this particular thing is that I want it to be, you know, to feel a little bit more spacious, I think would be a good word for it. Alright, so let's go here. And oh, do we want to just take it that way? Because there's going to be a door here. I mean, I could just say the hell with it and do that so that it mirrors what we've got on the other side. I might do that. We'll see how that we'll see how that looks when it's done. And then if we're doing the same thing over here, we're gonna go like so. We took all of you out before. And we do 2 more there. And there. And then with this, part of what is nice about this is that it gives us the ability that if we choose to put windows in, there we go. We can put windows in right here, and like I said, looking at the way that everything worked out, we'll be able to have an envelope, an atmospheric envelope in there, so we'll be able to make this entire thing airtight. So that works out very, very nicely, actually. What I may do is do something like this. I mean, I guess I could leave that. It's definitely an interesting, it'll be an interesting shadow in there. What's going to kill me is having to come back and greeble all this. Alright. Okay, so that gets, I think that may actually get us most of the, like, the design, like the concept designs done. I want to turn off all of these. I really would like to be able. Can we do, if we do that, can we get, oh, we can. Nice, okay. As much as I've played this game, you know, I've never tried this. All right. Cool. And I was just using the arrow keys to scroll through that list. All right. We got that, we got that. Okay, so we have residential. And up here, we're just gonna, for right now, we're just gonna basically get this boxed in. I mean, I have the space up here. I could actually run, I could run the O2 up into the rafter area if I really wanted to, instead of having this block here. Now you know what I could do. Let's see. It's feeding up through the bottom there, but it needs to be able to feed that way as well. I mean, I could go with the vent block, the conveyor vent. Actually has a sloped version, and I could use that. I don't know. Let's let Bob weld all of this stuff up, and we'll see what we feel like after everything is said and done. Do I want to move that back? I don't want that like that. Actually, I think I like it like that. Like I said, the big question is are we going to be able to hold atmosphere in here? That's my my immediate concern. Alright, so you should be all here welding up. There's a couple of blocks here that still need to be welded. Okay, so let's see, because this side is more done. So if we were just hanging out in here, relaxing after hours, yeah, I could see that. Oh, let's see. Let's... Alright. Well, so we have these. We have the bench. I could use the benches. Oh, let's grab the straight bench. Where would we put it? We're going to have a doorway here, so we don't want the bench directly in the door. We could do that. That could be interesting. Just have some seating in here somewhere. All right. Okay, so that's getting too much into the detail work. We need to finish this portion. Let's get this piece going. Alright, so we want windows. And I think we're going to go with the windows on the exterior face. So if we're going to do that, let's do... That is not what I clicked on. Okay, maybe it was what I clicked on. It was not what I meant to click on. So we do that here. We do that there. We're going to come over here and repeat this. And what we're doing is we're basically giving the windows something to stick to. And that sounds kind of wrong, actually. Alright. So now we're going to go windows. Go ahead and drop that out. We want the 2x... do I want the 2x1s or 2x2s? Let's do 2x1s. It's just easier to deal with them. Alright, so you're going to be there and there. Oh, you are an odd number. Alright. That's not good. Okay. I thought you were an even number. Alright. That's okay. We'll make it work. It's fine. We're used to it around here, right? What's one of my builds where things work exactly the way they're supposed to the first time around? Those are never fun. Alright. Let's go ahead and grab one of you. To place there. Swing you around to place there. You know, I could have maybe I could bring that back in. It's okay. We'll make this work. You know what they say, if it doesn't work, make it. Alright, so if we do that... Oh, you know what we could do? You, come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here. No. Let's get these out of here. Because what we could do is we can go get rid of that for a second. Let's do I want that way, or do I want them that way? Because if we do this, we can do maybe we can do something where there will be windows over the engineering section. Because we said we wanted to be able to see the reactors from the exterior of the ship, right? Well, at least the reactor status lights from the exterior. So what I'm thinking is that we will end up building something that will dome this over, maybe, with windows, or at least have a row or two of windows, so that you'll be able to see into space on the back of the wing. This should be interesting. Okay. That's starting to be something. I'm not sure what yet, but it is starting to be something. All right. And you are going to be there. Actually, you know what? No, let's keep that. Let's keep that going. Because they have a wall there, so if we do that, we keep the overall line going here. And then we can just and that leaves the ability to have something back here to where maybe we can have like an airlock system or something back here to get into and out of the ship. Oh, see, maybe we do that. Because if we go like so, we may see, this might work for what we need it to do. Come on. Get in there. Alright. Yep. Let's go that way with this. And if we go stairs down. Alright, so if we... Whoop, helps if I spell correctly. There we go. Let's get the windows out for a second. We're going to go ahead and grab the catwalks here. I guess we could go like that. Grab this. All right, so we want it to be straight with the two there. Okay. And then this lets us have stairs on either side. And I may come back and take the stairs out. Okay, so then we can come through here. We'll have part of this set up as a kitchen, part of this set up as a booth area to sit down and maybe eat. Maybe put like some exercise equipment or something back in here somewhere. You come back here, you have your sleeping space. Okay, we said 6 people, right? So if you have a 6-person crew, excuse me, a 6-person crew complement, roughly 1/3 to 1/2 of your crew is going to be on duty at any point in time. So you don't actually need space for everybody to sleep at the same time. Because what I'm thinking is if we put, you know, we just leave 4 beds in, we build the other one into a bathroom, a latrine. Maybe. Because you'll have food over here. Basically, recreation is in here. One side's sleeping. One side is latrine. Yeah, that might work. Oh. And that would also allow us... I mean, I could repipe all of this. So what I'm thinking here is if I repipe this, we can have the vent above everything on both sides. So we would end up with basically there being a vent up there, and this would not be here. I mean, what we'd have to do is just repipe what we have here, basically change the piping out a little bit, run it up into here. Vent. Let's go ahead and grab this, and so here's what I'm thinking. We do vent here, and then on this side, get rid of this. And on this side, you do that. Huh? Because if we do that, we then just pipe in through here, so we get... Make sure you're attached to something. That's all I care about. Okay. So let's grab our conveyor here. All right. So then we can do that. We can do that. And we are still going to keep a conveyor block here, and what we'll do is we'll have this feed in both ways. Now, the reason for this is because I tend to like to have redundancy in the builds. All right. Because this way, if you take critical failure on one side, there's a potential for you to still be able to have your services and systems running on the other side, which is why you'll see me build a lot of loop systems, so that you do end up with a little bit of protection in the case something just goes completely to pot, you know. So okay, so that gets us
Energy low.
a almost fully airtight build. Okay. And that puts us up here. Okay, so if we then go... You're going to be there, so we're going to go 1... I'd have to use an enclosed. So if we're doing enclosed, that means we have to do... Actually, you know what? Let's do it on... Let's do it on this side instead. Okay, so it's going to be here. Yes, that will work nicely. Okay, and I'll show you what we're going to do here. Let's grab you out of there. We're going to grab the lit stairwell. That brings us up to here. And then what we will do on this side is we're going to grab those. Helps if I pay attention where I'm walking, huh? So if we do that, and that for just for consistency purposes, when all of this is done, you'll be able to come through here. You come upstairs. We're going to put a one of the sealed turns in here. That brings you up to here. So then we go... We're going to do this. Okay, so we want to grab the enclosed lit passage, because this actually has a couple of the things, there we go, that we want. 2, 4, 5, 6. Alright, and then if we do another set of stairs up, do we want the stairs to go up from there, or do we want it to go back one? Alright, so we want... Move you out of there for a second. Oh, you know what? Let's do... Do I want to put a rotary airlock in? Because that means it's one more mod you have to work with. No. I kind of like the idea of somebody walking through the ship and not realizing that there's nothing behind the door. Alright, so we need to get some components built up here. Now I did turn off, one of the things I forgot to mention is I did turn off the sorting block. I basically whitelisted, or blacklisted the things that had previously been whitelisted. So uranium and ice won't come through. Well, uranium, platinum, and ice won't come through, but everything else will. So the refineries are actually processing a crap ton of iron right now. And we will soon have them processing a bunch of other stuff as well. Alright, so you're going to be a wall, which we still haven't figured out what we're going to do for the this portion of it. I do think I'm going to keep the wing idea, like the little winglet that we did on the front here. Have that carry back a bit, and then what I'll probably do is start working from the thrusters here to bring everything forward and tie it all together to see what we needed to get. But we should be able to get everything tied together and get the ship closed in next time. So, this episode has gone much longer than I was expecting. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw them down in the section below. If you haven't done so already, want to be kept up to date, or just want to do something nice this holiday season, see that little subscribe button under the bottom right corner of the video? Yeah, make sure you smack that. Give it a good click. If there's a little bell next to it, if you want to be kept up to date, make sure you ring the bell. And yeah, we will see you next time. We still have a whole lot to do on this, but that's okay. That's what makes it fun. I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Have a terrific week. Happy holidays from my family to yours. And we will see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody.